Hello, my name is Mark Newgent, retired U.S. Army military police captain, and we need to discuss the corruption in Irvine, California. It has been alleged that appointed council member Michael Carroll misappropriated and basically stole city money and resources in the amount of about $72,000 and counting for his campaign, and in the process taking advantage of developmentally disabled, vulnerable city staff to do so. You also need to know Michael Carroll is a lawyer and is expected to know the law more than the average person. You may remember Michael Carroll. He is the one Farrah Khan appointed to the council the day after having a secret meeting with him and 5 Points lobbyists. Let me explain. On or about the 25th of August, 2020, several Irvine residents informed Irvine council member Melissa Fox there was a potential abuse of Irvine's official city council mail account by a current city council member running for election. Councilmember Melissa Fox wrote a formal complaint letter. This source document reported the requested accounting of all mailings and constituent responses of the mailings from 2018 to date. Based on the document, city staff had already been investigating allegations of abuse by Michael Carroll for at least a week. In addition to the abuse and stealing from official mail accounts, there was also potential abuse of public resources to make robocalls and send emails. That constituent contact data was provided by Michael Carroll directly to mailroom staff for production. That constituent responses were routed to various non-city emails and applications, and that public resources were used to promote events that were not noticed through the city or otherwise made available to the public. Staff records for July and August of 2020 show Michael Carroll mailed 40,340 letters at a cost of $40,000. Last fiscal year, Michael Carroll mailed 37,825 letters at an estimated cost of $32,000. These numbers do not account for staff labor costs. The total annual mail budget for the entire city council is only about $13,000 for all 5 members. Until he was allegedly caught, Michael Carroll had another mass mailing scheduled for the 1st of September 2020 using your money. The document elaborates these mass communications were so frequent and widespread they crossed into campaigning with public dollars. According to the document, Michael Carroll circumvented city management by personally directing mailroom employees to follow his personal instructions. It appears the letters themselves that residents' personal information and data may have been collected by Michael Carroll and used for his own political purposes. According to the document, misuse of taxpayer resources are violations of the Irvine's municipal codes, California penal codes, California government code, and political reform acts. This complaint letter was sent to the Irvine city staff, the OC District Attorney's Office, and the State Prosecutor's Office and State Fair Political Practices Commission. When the mayor of Irvine received the complaint letter and was made aware of the situation, she immediately put a stop to Mike Carroll's scheduled mailing using public funds. Irvine Mayor Christina Shea said in her response email, the September 1st mailing will be stopped immediately and not be allowed to be mailed out. What's very concerning to me is this quote from the Irvine mayor about our most vulnerable staff, so please listen carefully. This is something you need to understand to give you an idea of how Michael Carroll is willing to take advantage of a vulnerable person to commit a crime, allegedly. I quote the mayor, "Our mail department is very unique to the city operations as we hire members of our developmentally disabled community to work in the mailroom, and they are some of our most vulnerable populations on our staff." This basically means he was directing and using vulnerable people to carry out his crimes against the city and you, the taxpayer. The mayor further goes on to say, considering we are looking at an $18 million deficit at close of 30th June 2020 and several years to come, running up mail deficit is troubling. This question for me personally is, I ask you, is this really someone you want in charge of our city? Someone who's willing to not only steal and defraud from the city, but take advantage of a vulnerable person to carry out those crimes for his own personal gain? You may recall there was an Irvine police officer that was caught stealing overtime pay in the amount of $68,000. That Irvine police officer was fired, and if convicted on all charges, he faces 25 years in prison. Appointed Irvine council member Michael Carroll, who's also a lawyer, allegedly stole more than that police officer did, and yet he is still in the Irvine City Council getting paid. I encourage you to contact your city, county, and state representatives to request an investigation and prosecute in accordance with the law. My name is Mark Newgent, candidate for Irvine City Council, and I will expose and eliminate corruption wherever I find it.
Oh, when